Hello, Tubies. How y'all doing? Hope you're doing well. You doing well? Just cleaned this damn altar the other day. Got it all nice and perfect and clean and organized. Who doesn't like organized altars? So, in my last video I talked about respecting your entities and your deities and so on and so forth. And so I wanted to talk about what it means to be a witch. Now, we've talked in the past about the ethics of being a witch. So like everybody has their own set of principles and morals. Some people won't curse, some people won't hex, some people won't bind or banish, some people only love and light and healing. And I've done a video in the past. Lunar Wisdom has done a video in the past. She also wrote a blog post. Random Witch has done a video. But the core principle is, and this is just my opinion, so like if you disagree, feel free. Thumbs down, unsubscribe, comment down below, rage face, doesn't matter. But this is just my opinion. If you can't curse and you can't hex, you can't heal. So what kind of witch are you? Now, I'm not saying you have to do these things, okay? I'm not saying you have to curse, you don't have to hex, but you should understand what it means to do these things. Now, how does this play into my topic of what does it mean to be a witch? A witch is a well-rounded, well-educated, well-versed person in all aspects of the craft. I don't give a fuck what you practice. I don't give a fuck what path you follow. I don't give a fuck if you curse or you hex. Your path is your path, but at the same time, if you don't understand the nuances of the darker side of the path, how are you walking the path? You're only walking one part of the path. You are oblivious and blind to the other part of the path. You are not fully able to, in my opinion, protect yourself against others who might walk a darker path or understand both sides of the paths. So a witch is somebody who is able to understand, whether they practice or not, both sides of the light spectrum, if you will. They are able to protect themselves against malicious forms of magic. And again, these can be super simple. I've demonstrated ways to protect yourself, I've talked about it, so on and so forth. So we won't go into that in this video. A witch, in my opinion, is somebody who is empathetic to other people. We get a lot of bad apples in this community, and 2 of them, thankfully, have left YouTube. But we get people who say that they're on this path. And if you really look at what witchcraft is, it's about manifesting the change that you want in your life, okay? So you want more money, you want a hot body, you want a Bugatti, you gotta work, bitch. A witch is a well-rounded person. They are able to burn a bitch's house down if they have to in some form or another, whatever that form is to you. Or they're able to, you know, heal the sick and the dying and the so on and so forth. At least that's the image we all get in our head. You should be able to burn somebody and to heal somebody. But that's not necessarily all that a witch is. We are people who need something that magic can give us. So whether, like I said, you want that loan, you want that lover, you want that happy family, you want to be protected, you want to be nourished, you want to be loved, you want to attract things to you, magic can help you in these things. A witch is somebody who doesn't just live in the magical sphere of the universe. They also live in the mundane. I've talked about this in previous videos so many fucking times, it's getting annoying. But I don't think people are seeing the truth. I don't think people are grasping it. The mundane is so important. Having that job, having those friends, having that social life, having that thing outside of the magical world is very important to being a well-rounded individual as well as a well-rounded practitioner. If you are somebody who doesn't work and they stay at home and they sit at their altar all day and they manifest and they manifest and they manifest, I mean, you're getting trapped, you're getting stuck, you're getting sucked in to this magical world, and you are an easier target to send spirits to, you're an easier target to attack, you're an easier target to do magic on and to be persuaded. Trust me, I've been down this path. It's very important to be well-rounded in both your mundane world and in the magical world. And these are all life lessons that everybody has to learn. And yeah, I had to learn them a little bit more publicly than others, but the point of the conversation is that a well-rounded witch is somebody who is able to ground themselves in the real world as well as ground themselves in the magical world. Do you know what I mean? A witch is somebody who is studied, versed, understands, reads, acknowledges, maybe doesn't have to fully accept, but does at least acknowledge that not everybody practices the same way. So we shouldn't be attacking each other because, you know, I practice a different way than you do. We should be embracing that. We should be looking at that and thinking, is there anything I can learn from this? Do I agree with this? If I don't agree with this, what opinions or ideas or pieces of advice can I give, or how can I express my opinion appropriately? See, with the age of the internet and the age of technology, we can share our ideas and our opinions and our thoughts so much more easier, and we also get people who don't agree with us. And it's okay to not agree with everybody or everything. It's just about how you go about it that determines not only what type of person you are, but also in the community of witchcraft, what kind of witch you are portraying to everybody else. You know what I mean? I mean, you've all seen how my channel has grown and evolved, and in the last few days, I've removed tons of videos that either were just not the best, didn't get the information across properly, YouTube decided wasn't fucking appropriate, or were videos that didn't reach a certain view threshold, didn't get the right kind of attention, were just kind of showing my channel in a more negative way, you know what I mean? So, a witch is a person, keyword person, who portrays who they are in their craft. It's important to understand that the type of people that you attract in your life, the type of relationships that you build, the way you go about doing things in your life is going to affect your craft. This is something I never see talked about. So if you're an asshole, if you're a cunt, if you fucking attack people, belittle people, so on and so forth, I mean, think about your own craft. What kind of magical path are you going to go down? What kind of magical path are you going to be a part of? What kind of shit are you going to attract to yourself? And I learned very, very the hard way that being a certain type of person attracts the wrong fucking people, okay? And you don't want to do that. You really don't want to do that, okay? So learn from my mistakes. The other thing is that a witch does learn from other witches. Just because you don't agree with something that that person posts on the internet, or the way that they do a certain spell, or the way they take an idea and they put their own spin on it, doesn't mean that they're wrong, okay? It just means that they're doing it their own way. There are certain ways and certain practices, certain spells, certain so on and so forth that have to be done certain ways by certain people, certain traditions, so on and so forth, and you shouldn't be, you know, stepping outside your lane to go into, you know, something that you're not culturally accepted in. I mean, I wouldn't go and practice voodoo because it's not a part of my culture. It's not me. It's not my thing. I don't really practice hoodoo. I do work with the saints. I do work with some Catholic-based conceptions and some hoodoo-esque things, but I always put my own witchy spin on it, and that's not wrong, okay? It's not wrong. I'm not culturally appropriating anything. I'm not, you know, white privilege anything, so on and so forth. I always make sure that if I do work with something from another culture, that I give all respect and I pay homage, and I make sure that I am not disrespecting that culture. A witch is patient. You are patient. You are able to accept your flaws and you are able to change them. Somebody who is stubborn and stuck and bullheaded and it's their way or the fucking highway is not, in my opinion, something that represents what a witch is. We come into this craft because we want to change. We want to bring change into our lives. We want to manifest things that affect us. And we want to, maybe, if we have a YouTube channel, share our journey, our path, our mistakes, our growth with other people. And it's very important that we do that in a way that doesn't belittle, shit on, or attack anybody else. Now, I will do video responses to other more popular people's videos, especially if they're missing out on some of the key important facts that they didn't discuss in their videos. But you do it in a respectful way. You don't belittle the person, you don't attack the person. You might not agree with the person, but that's perfectly fine. Within our witchy community, we have cliques and circles, and you're either in one or you're not. And it is of my opinion that it is better to just stay the fuck out of all of that, okay? It doesn't matter if you're in a Facebook group, if you're in on YouTube or Twitch or whatever the fuck you're on. It's important to stay the fuck out of those things because they cause trouble, okay? But it's also important to have friends and to communicate with your friends and bounce ideas off each other and get their thoughts and opinions on how to do things. And some people have it set in their path that there is only one way to do things and every other way goes against their principles and their ideas, and that's okay. A healthy debate and exchange of opinions is great, but be educated. Don't just fucking talk out your ass, okay? So these are things that, in my opinion, make a witch, okay? The way they interact with people in their own lives, on the internet space. A person who wants to change, to manifest, to bring the change that they want into their life. Somebody who is educated and versed, somebody who understands both sides of the spectrum, somebody who respects all paths within this witchy community. You don't have to agree with it and you don't have to like it, but to attack somebody based on it, in my opinion, doesn't make you a very good witch, okay? There are a lot of people who will disagree with me on this one, but it's your path and you do what feels right for you. Don't let somebody tell you how to practice your own path. You go with your gut, you go with your intuition, you listen to that, you pay attention to that, you honor that. Your spirits, your saints, your deities, your entities, your whatever will also communicate with you. You respect them, you honor them. I've talked about this. Most importantly, a witch is grounded in the mundane. And I've talked about that so many fucking times. You have a job, you have friends and family, you have a social life, you get out of your house, you turn off your computer, you watch Grey's Anatomy, you drink wine, you do mundane things. You're not always sitting at your altar casting spells. I mean, all I'm doing here is just burning some fucking incense while I talk to you people. A witch is somebody who is a person. You're a person. Just because you've slapped a new label on you doesn't mean that you're different. Just because you're a hoodoo practitioner doesn't mean you can't have a man, doesn't mean you can't have a child, doesn't mean you can't have a life. A powerful witch, in my opinion, is somebody who has both worlds grounded and focused. Somebody who has, you know, their foot in the mundane world firmly planted on the fucking ground. Somebody who has their other foot in the magic world firmly planted on the fucking ground. These are people that you don't fuck with. These are people that you don't throw shit at. The other thing is that a witch does not throw shit at another witch. We do not throw curses and hexes and bullshit at another witch because A, most of us have pretty damn good protections in place, and most of us can determine when magic is being done at us, and we can just throw it right the fuck back, okay? So it's very important that you don't fuck with another witch or their practice. So these are just some of the things of what I personally think a witch is. They are a person, they are grounded, they are educated, they are mature, they are level-headed. They are not fucking idiots who think that they're top shit, that they're all that. They are an individual who is centered and focused and knows what they want and can manifest that and is confident and secure in both their practice and their own personal life, okay? We all got issues, we all got problems. Some of the people that I've met in the craft are people who come from really, really shitty pasts, from husbands to children, like childhood. They have very, very shitty life experiences, but that is what makes them the people that they are today. The people who have learned from that, the people who have realized that I don't want to live this particular type of life, okay? So I hope that this video has kind of given some light, shed a little bit of light onto what I personally think that a witch is. And I would love to hear your opinions and your thoughts. Video responses and comments, always welcome. So until the next video, my fabulous little tubies.